Howdy doody, Drew here with GODZ Manufacturing, talking about our brand new wiring harness that's specifically designed for the front bumper light mount series that we have on different vehicles. Currently, the front bumper light mount is offered for the 2017 Plus Super Duties. It's also offered for the 10 to 18 Ram 25, 35, 45, and 5500 platforms. And we will also have a version coming out for the 2019 Plus Ram 25, 35, 45, 5500 platforms as well. This harness is not necessarily a one-size-fits-all, but the harness construction is going to be the same for all of the different platforms. So I just want to talk a little bit about what this harness is, so that way when you guys are ordering this, you know exactly what you're going to be getting. So this harness is 100% made in-house. It features 2 waterproof relays, a couple of different leads that are designed to tie into either our powerhouse system, factory upfitter switches, or we could even do a toggle switch configuration if you don't have either of those options. Comes done with all of your Deutsch connectors. So let's just break down exactly what's going into this. So all of the front bumper light mounts feature 5 lights. This is designed specifically for the Baja Designs LP 4, 6, and 9 lights that all use a Deutsch 4-pin connector. There are 5 plugs that are on here currently. They come pre-wired to you. So we've got 3 wires going into the back of this plug. I'll show the GoPro over here. We leave out the wire for the low beam. It's honestly not much difference between the output of the low beam and the high beam, so we leave it out entirely. This is wired for the backlight function on all of the LP series lights, and then we have our positive and our negative going into this. That way, all you have to do when this arrives is quite literally plug these into the back of the LP lights on your front bumper light mount. We'll open this up here. We've got it zip tied. It'll come to you this way as well. So we'll open that up, open this up, and talk about a little bit more of the business end of the light per se. So we've got quite a bit of coil here. This is all going to be down behind your grill at the front bumper, and then this is going to run to a predetermined location within the engine bay. Like I said, it's going to be different for the Ford and the Ram applications, even from the 10 to 18 and the 19 Plus Rams. They are going to be different. We spec all of these harnesses in-house and measure out the wires, so you guys don't have to worry about any trimming, butt connecting, or otherwise splicing stuff once it arrives to you. All of the power is coming up to our 2 relays. These are Hella brand 40 amp waterproof relays. Again, everything is pre-terminated for you. We'll talk about exactly where they should be mounted as it pertains to each specific vehicle application. We have a common ground as well for the lights. And as we go into the other side of the harness, we've got quite a few leads, but as standard for all of our wiring projects here, we label them for you. So we have an ISP and an OSP. That's going to be your inside positive, your outside positive. So these are wired, these 3 together, your inner 3. We also have the outer 2 wired together. Now, you guys can set that up on 1 or 2 switches. If you set up just the ISP, it's going to be these 3 lights. Just the OSP is going to be these 2 lights. Or you can terminate them to the same location, and it would be all 5 lights on 1 switch. Still controlled by 2 different relays, but all 5 lights would come on together, versus if you wire them individually, you're going to have 1 switch, 2 switch to control those. So ISP, OSP are your positive triggers for the inside, outside. If you put them together, you're going to have that be on 1 switch essentially. We also have our OS triggers and our inside triggers, same idea. These are going to be the triggers that go to the physical switch itself. This is what's going to control on-off functions. And then last but not least, we have our relay ground. We're going to ground this either to the same location, which would be a chassis ground, or you could ground it to the negative fuse block that we provide to you guys for the powerhouse system. But again, more detail on that as it pertains to specific install videos. The only other thing I want to note as far as wiring goes is we've got this one little green wire here. This is your backlight trigger. A lot of times you're going to be doing that with a fuse tap. This is going to be the only thing that you would likely end up butt connecting. There's going to be different lengths of wire required to run this to either a fuse tap or possibly a switch. Just depends on how you want to set it up. But this one green wire will be responsible for the amber backlight, or now the multicolor backlight features that exist on the Baja Designs LP series lights.